Mayweather's moving up a weight class to take on this fight. So, Stephen A., are you surprised that Mayweather agreed to this?
I'm a little surprised simply because, number one, it's the shortest layoff he'll have since 2001. Number two, Canelo Alvarez is a big boy. He's a legitimate junior middleweight. The flip side, and obviously he's a big draw, so you're thinking along the lines, I believe Floyd has like a 6-fight deal with Showtime, CBS, Skip.
Yep.
So I'm thinking along the lines of something of this magnitude probably would have been like the 5th fight as opposed to the 2nd. But at the same time, you know, it says a lot of things to me, Skip. Number one, evidently he wasn't as scared as of your boy Pacquiao, Mr. Sleepwalker, that you thought he was. Okay, that's number one.
Wait, is Pacquiao awake yet?
Number two.
You guys.
He woke up.
He woke up.
I think he woke up. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, but I think he woke up. Number two, you got to give Floyd credit where credit is due in terms of him being a brilliant businessman. This is a guy, I mean, he made a guaranteed at least a minimum of $32 million his last fight. I'm told he's going to make at least $41 million this fight. But, I mean, you're talking about, and if Floyd sits there and wins these fights, which I believe he will, by the way, you're talking about this dude being in a position to make close to $500 million before all of this is said and done. You could pay-per-view sales, everything like that. So from the business side, it's just magnificent. I'm worried a little bit about the catch weights, which, by the way, I heard from Floyd's camp that it was Canelo Alvarez who brought up the catch weight because they thought that would be something to sway Floyd. Floyd and them actually didn't bring it up. They brought up the catch weight, not him, contrary to what some reports may say. Whether that's true or not, to me, is irrelevant, but it did happen. So in the end, here's what it comes down to, Skip. Canelo Alvarez, 42-0, 30 knockouts. He's a bad boy. This is clearly the toughest fight that I can imagine of Floyd Mayweather's career. I remember years ago when he fought Diego Corrales, Floyd wasn't even favored to win that fight, and Diego Corrales was a knockout artist, and Floyd not only dropped him 7 times, but had him literally crying in the ring. I don't see that happening with this guy, but I do see the magician that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is stepping into the ring and showing this soon-to-be 23-year-old dude what boxing is really all about. I think Floyd, I believe in my boy. I'm not picking against Floyd until I see somebody beat him. Because you know what, Skip?
Here we go.
You can't, your hands can't, you know what? You got to be able to see it to hit it, baby. You got to remember that. You can have all the power in the world, but if you ain't touching them, it don't matter. Floyd, money, Mayweather. That's all I got to say. I know where I'm going to be in September. It's beautiful. I can't wait, Skip. I can't wait. I can't wait, Skip.
It's beautiful.
I'm just mad it wasn't over the summer. I wish it was over the summer, Skip. But I can wait. I can wait.
There's one entity that waits for no man. That is Father Time. Floyd is now 36 years of age. Canelo is all of 22 years of age. And I don't know who negotiated what on the catch weight, but I was surprised and impressed that Floyd did take this fight. I thought he might run from this fight the way he clearly ran from the Pacquiao fight over all this bogus blood testing, blah, blah, blah. Here's the point. When I finally read down in the story, they did agree upon a catch weight. Now, I don't know. Maybe if your sources within the money camp are right about this, did Canelo just beg for the fight at any weight, so he agreed to or actually proposed the catch weight? Go ahead.
Well, let me say this to you. Dan Rayfield is our boxing writer for ESPN. He's exceptional at what he does.
You got it.
He said that, you know, his story said that Floyd asked for it.
He did.
I'm telling you, Floyd's camp is saying Canelo asked for it.
Okay.
I don't know. And I certainly don't want to refute anything that the respected Dan Rayfield has wrote.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what Floyd's camp told me. That's all I want to say.
For our viewers who don't understand catch weight, a catch weight is a negotiated, hard and fast, agreed upon weight that the two fighters agree upon that's not the traditional weight limit for a class. In this case, it would be 154. Right. They have agreed hard and fast 152. And that means that even after the weigh-in, that Canelo cannot all of a sudden try to bulk back up, try to tank back up and get, add 6 or 8 more pounds that his frame will carry by fight time. You have to stay at 152 all the way up to fight time. So this is big advantage for the smaller Floyd in this fight. So I don't know, again, I would be with Dan on this one. I would think that Floyd would push for the catch weight.
Well, that's fine, but here's the deal. Floyd is really a 147-pound fighter. He's fighting at 152. He has fought at 154 before, but that's not really his weight. Yep. Now, some people, to me and you, it sounds like, what's the big deal? It's 2 pounds. The flip side to it is that the boxers think it's a very big deal, and it's their profession, so I'm going to respect that. Yeah. And I'm not going to mess with it. It's clearly a huge deal. But again, unlike Pacquiao, to me, this fight proves somebody else was in the way. I don't know if it's Bob Arum or anybody else. I'm not that knowledgeable about the inner workings of the business of boxing. I know the fight game, but not that game in regards to boxing. And all I'm saying to you is, if this dude is fighting, Canelo Alvarez is a knockout artist. This is a big boy, okay?
A big boy.
And he's young and powerful and big. And so, to me, if you're willing to get into the ring with him, all right, then clearly you aren't scared of Pacquiao. That's number one. Number two, if you're willing to get into the ring with him, and it was made relatively easy because Alvarez is a Golden Boy Promotions fighter, then that showed that the promotional arm for Pacquiao played a far bigger role, Skip, than you were willing to acknowledge.
Time out, Stephen A. Skip, you agree with that? He wasn't afraid of Pacquiao if he's willing to get into the ring with Alvarez?
Here's my point. Bottom line, Kerry and Stephen A., Floyd Mayweather constantly ridiculed Pacquiao year after year for demanding catch weights before his fights against other opponents. Now it's clear to me that Floyd is a little afraid. I'm not going to say he's scared to death, but he is a little afraid of a bigger and I think badder man in Canelo. So again,
whoa. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute, Skip. This is boxing here. Let's be clear about something. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having an elevated level of concern. Now, that don't mean you scared, but listen, Skip, you were there. You were there to rumble in the jungle with Ali and Frazier.
Me of that.
You walked. I'm saying you walked in there. You walked in there with people literally crying, scared for Ali's life because of how menacing George Foreman was. So what I'm saying is, there's nothing. This is boxing and basketball or baseball or something. This is a dude coming in to knock your head off. You have a right to be concerned, but as long as you're willing to step into the ring and you have the requisite skills to outbox him and beat him, which is what Floyd obviously believes, then you got to give him some credit for that, Skip. Come on now.
But
give it up.
He better come up with a rope-a-dope strategy.